And there we are. A very good evening to you.
Good evening.
We are live again on our Friday sessions with Conscious World Agents. My name is Claudia van Zuiden. A very good evening.
And my name is Arturo Massaro.
And together we are the founders of Conscious World Agents, and we're really happy that you will join us tonight.
Yeah.
Another thing is that some people can't join, so we will also put this video on our YouTube channel later.
Yeah.
But we have had such great fun doing these Friday sessions, and we've had some very wonderful feedback from people. And tonight we will be showing a little bit more about, or sharing a little bit more about the level of consciousness, the self-conscious level.
Yeah.
The last few weeks we've been talking about the subconscious levels.
Yeah.
And this week we will talk about the self-conscious level and what that is. And our posts that we write on our Facebook pages and also on the Conscious World Agent is always about that topic that we'll discuss in the week. So, that's where we are. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fine, and it's been a pretty busy week. Mm-hmm. I've done some interviews yesterday, 2 interviews in one day, from driving from the one place to another. And it was such an amazing experience, so great. Yeah. Today I just gave 2 online sessions, training to a company. So the morning and in the afternoon, and now this, and I'm not exhausted, but I feel that it's, and I love to do this, and it's also nice to sit on the couch this evening and doing nothing. Make this conscious decision and say, it's
been a good week.
It's been a good week. We worked hard.
We worked very hard.
We've done a lot. And also a lot of people are so interested in our
Experience Day.
Experience Day, it's awesome. So,
Okay, we're here, and I feel.
Are you doing fine?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Okay, very excited. So, and it's just so lovely to be here with you and just being our true self, and we want to be really conscious with you. Sharing from our heart, that is our main purpose, and really discussing about what Conscious World Agents is about. So we have some fantastic things coming up again for you. But tonight I would like to start then with my first post this week, and that was about curiosity. When we talk about the subconscious level, the beliefs that we've taken on are all based on things that we've learned. And actually, we discussed it in our previous videos as well, about till the age of 7. Most of the things that you run on your subconscious program come from that age, before that age. So a lot of the choices that we make are based on that belief system. So if you think about that, some of the choices that you make based on that belief system are actually not your own. Yeah, that's quite bizarre. That nice, most of the things that we do are you do that because you were taught this by society or your caretakers or school or whatever, or the company that you work for, but they're not actually your own beliefs. So. And then, when you have conversations with people, you might have this discussion going on, and you always come from that need to be right. You also wrote about that a few weeks ago, that need to be right. But actually, what about if you come from a stance of curiosity rather than coming from a stance of being right? And when I started to do that, I'm very curious.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, and I've always been like that.
I can tell you stories.
No, but my grandfather, Opa Wim, he was so. At some point, I remember he came home with a book, and it was 1,000 questions of why. And he gave it to me when I was about 7, and he was like, "You know what, Claudia, go and read this book." And there's all these questions that I had about the universe and all that. were in that book, so that was really up my street. But I'm very curious, but I'm also very interested, because I think there is a humility, a sense of humility in wanting to learn from others.
Yeah.
And when we talk in the beginning, you were quite like, why do you ask that question? So what is the background? But the background is that I'm curious. I want to know. I want to know how you experience things and things like that. So rather than holding on to the identification of your belief, change it into the stance of curiosity. And you might find out things about people that you would have never found out if you had not asked that certain question. Yeah. Or even, you don't even have to ask a question. You can just be silent and just let that person talk. And then, instead of you wanting to say something because you think you're so important or you have something to share like that, let them just talk. Let them just talk and continue that way. And you might find out things that you never knew, and might change your whole belief system anyway. And then also to check up with, is this really my truth? What I want to say in this conversation, is that really coming from my heart, or is it coming from a habit or the subconscious level? Yeah. So that way I really raise my level of self-consciousness in becoming more curious. So that was
nice.
That one.
Is there anything else you can do to accelerate this curiosity, to be more curious than normal, or?
I think what helped me was just also to stop talking. Just listen more.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, just listen more. Yeah. And then in that be curious. And then if after a while, if people are finished talking, also say, so is there something else, or is there something that, or how does it make you feel, or something? Yeah. But more becoming aware of what type of questions I ask and why do I want to ask the question. Is it interesting, or is it relevant?
Is it relevant, Yeah, that's great. So,
those kind of
so
questions.
it's not going from everything I know, but just listen to the other person and see what he or she has to offer you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I must say I learned most of that sitting with the indigenous people.
Yeah, nice. That's a totally different culture also.
Yeah. Many different cultures all over the world where I sat with, and then they listened. Yeah. And when I did some training in talking circles, as you know, then one of the rules is that nobody speaks before everybody has spoken or had a chance to speak in that circle before we go to the next topic. So
that's so nice to hear on this way of really want to listen to each other. Yeah. And that's so important. If you are also curious, you want to listen to the other person. It's not about you, it's about the other person. That's great.
And making the connection.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Huh?
So, nice. Well, I love it.
Thank you.
The first post I wrote this week was about there's only here, there's only here, and there's only now. Why did I wrote that? Well, Eckhart Tolle says that if you're unhappy, it's not about your circumstances, it's about the thoughts you have about the circumstances. And a lot of times we feel frustration, anxiety, tension, distraction, maybe even anger, and the worries we have. But that always have to do with the past or the future. Once you're really in the here and now, you don't experience these worries. And it's so hard to accept. But look back in your own life. Were there moments that you were totally in flow? That everything seemed to be right? Everything you touched was almost gold. You didn't have any worry there. You didn't have any fear there. You were just there at the moment. And what a lot of people do is they want to control the whole process. But in the here and now, trust the universe that it will guide you.
Yeah.
And if you take control, basically you say to the universe, I don't trust you. And then the universe just gives you back what you say to it. And, okay, you trust me, this is what you want. Then. And then you need to work so hard to achieve all your goals. And you don't need to work that hard anymore. As soon as you're here in the now. And one thing that I learned from Wayne Dyer was that he said, you go from nowhere to now here. And that's the same letters, but the only thing you do is change not the order, but the way how you speak, how you pronounce it. So from nowhere to now here. It's the only place there is. Everything you experienced in the past, you never experienced in the past. Always at that moment. Everything you will experience in the future, you will never experience in the future. You will always experience it in that right moment. So be conscious of where you are. And you're here. Always.
Yeah, and how would you say to people, like a lot of people are finding this a very difficult time now.
Yeah, it is.
So they worry a lot and all these things. How do you think being self-conscious can really help people right now?
Well, what happens if, and I think I discussed this last week, about if you worry, then you put stress hormone like cortisol in your body. And you can use this for 10-15 minutes, that's okay. But if it's constantly there due to the fact that you are thinking about the problems and thinking about the bad situation, it will ruin your body. It will make you sick, definitely. It will make you sick. So if you are aware of what's happening in your body and you can relax, and it's always, for me, it always comes back to take a deep breath. It's so simple. Take a step back and accept that there is only now here. There's only now, nowhere else. You cannot go to the future. The only thing you can go to the future is due to your thoughts that you think you're in the future. So be in the here and now, and that will immediately, and maybe you can look Bruce Lipton, Dr. Bruce Lipton, and Google him or on YouTube, and he says from the moment that you're relaxed and the stress hormone is gone, immediately your body will regenerate and heal.
Yeah, like cells as well.
The cells will heal, and everything is communicating again. And what you see at the micro level is also happening at the macro level. As soon as we are worried, everybody, we're not talking with each other anymore. We're only in our own bubble. And that's also what the cells does. They stay in their own bubble. They're not healing. They're not communicating. They're not helping. And as soon as you open up and be relaxed, then the connection is there.
Yeah, so it has not only in a mental, but also straight away it sends all the signals to the body as well. So and sometimes we cannot perhaps change the situation, but we can change how we are in it. Like you said, did you say it last week as well about the best leadership?
The best ship in a storm is leadership.
That's right. I love that one. Really cool.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that you will never have issues in your life. That there will be bad moments.
Yeah, and a lot of people are experiencing that now with a job and things like that. We can maybe have another chat around that sometime because our personal experience as well about that this year, how we dealt with that. So, is there anything else you want to say about that post? Or?
No. I think that's great. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool.
I'm curious about yours.
So my second post was about, I had a quote in there saying, you don't have to control all your thoughts,
Yeah.
but don't let them control you.
Mm.
And a lot of people say, oh, but when I apply mindfulness and so forth, I have to learn to control my mind. But, you know, we know about 60,000 thoughts per day you are unable to control. I think you're a master, super master if you can do that. What you can do is you can control some of them. You have a choice in which way you want to go. If you see a certain thought coming over and over and over again, you can make a conscious choice saying, there's a thought again, how can I change it? So I also noticed in my life that I was running a lot on a program that other people had taught me, but it was not in alignment with who I was. When I started to become conscious of what my blueprint was, what my design is, how to thrive in this life, that could never come about if I was starting to live my life on the basis of the belief system of other people. Yeah. So I had to figure out, what are my beliefs? How do I see this? How do I experience this? And what is my plan to make this design work for me? And I had a choice in that. And things that first were, for example, like impossible, changed into I am possible. And that was a huge eye-opener for me. And from that moment, I started to live my life more and more like that. And I think that works in business, that works in relationships. Yep. You know, check up, am I really this person that I want to be? When in this role in the company that I work for, in my own company, is it giving me a real warm feeling in my heart? Does it feel in alignment with my true self? All these things. And when I started to do that, I also started to embody the person that I am designed to be, my blueprint. Yeah. And that was such a liberated feeling to make those conscious choices then, to say, well, this is not who I am. You might see it like that. And even you might lose friends from that, or, you know, things like that, because they go like, well, you know, that's not in how I see it. And they find it very difficult to accept that you don't believe like them. But if it's not in alignment with who you are, then it doesn't serve you anymore. So I really felt that I became the master of my thoughts to some level then, and saying, well, that is not my thought that's running through my head all the time. And that just gave me such a liberated feeling. And yeah, my question to you is, do you ever have that feeling when you're the master of that thought, when this thought is running over again and again in your head, or even when you do things in your job, you know, you do the same thing? Do you ever check up on yourself, like, is this really what I feel is the best way for me and for the company or whatever? Or am I just running on that autopilot? So that was a bit of my reflection this week as well. And it was a great moment in my life, to have that realization. Yeah. Because all these beliefs also have emotions with them. You know, they bring something up in you. So if it's a belief system that doesn't resonate with who you are, it brings a certain emotion which can cause anxiety or things like that. And because it's not in alignment. No. And that was wonderful to feel as well. Like, oh, when I really go into the thoughts and the patterns that I believe, I've started to feel good. And people say, you're glowing. What's going on? Because I was just being myself. And that, I think, is what we need to learn. And I think from a very young age.
Yeah, and I think if I look at you, you're really the living example of being yourself every time. And that's what I really love about you. I learned so much from her. So
and I for you. But what happens then when you see that, when you feel that I'm really myself? When you feel, well, how is that for another person then?
Yeah, that's a good question, because the other person, most of the times you feel it. You feel that the other person is authentic. Yeah. And more or less, it's also bringing the light in to the other person. If you are being yourself, the light comes in to me. it breaks through the whole wall that I build around me. And so brick by brick, it will go down. And once the light gets in, it's hard to get it out. You know?
Wonderful. Wow, that's great. We never had that.
No.
We never discussed it like that. So that's great to hear. So yeah, maybe you can check up with yourself as well. When can I let the light in?
Yeah, that's nice. And it's also about being vulnerable for yourself. Mm-hmm. And it's, although we say don't wait till another person will do it, but it helps if another person in your surroundings is authentic, is just being him or herself. Yeah. And then it will help you also. Of course we say it starts with you. You can do it yourself. But sometimes you need a trigger from the outside world.
Yeah, and then stay who you are as well. Yeah. You know, it's like the great example, like the oak tree will never become a pine tree. No. You know, so that is also stay who you are, and don't believe all the things they have told you. Really check up, and does it resonate with myself? Yeah, so, nice. Yeah. Any case. So.
Do you see who's watching us now?
No.
No, really?
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Daniel.
Hello, everybody. So wonderful.
Daniel is the son of Claudia.
Yay. That's always lovely.
Welcome.
Welcome, Dan.
Well, my second post was more or less related to the first one, and that was also about how can you be more happy in life. And what people do is they chase a lot of material things. They want a house, they want a car, they want a good relationship, but also a nice job with a lot of money. And I don't say don't try to do that. But I know from my own experience, I had a house with 2 bathrooms, 5 bedrooms, a swimming pool outside, a sauna, a big garden. I lived just at the edge of the forest. But that didn't make me happy. And if I look back in my own life, when were the moments that I was really, really, really happy and felt fulfillment? It had never ever to do with my car, with money, with traveling. It had always to do with the connection with other people or the connection with nature.
Nice.
And feeling the connection with the other person, that makes the evening great. Not that you can drink 5 beers or 5 glasses of wine. That's it. That's not it. It's about how do you relate to the other one, and do you have fun? Do you have fun with each other? And that's of course in a relationship like we have, but also in your daily job. How important is fun for you in your daily job? To be happy. And it's not only fun, of course, but also it must be efficient, everything. But do you like it, what you do? Do you love it, what you do? Mm-hmm. Or are you working just for the money to pay your mortgage? It's up to you. If you want to do that, please keep doing it. But I know from my own experience, at least that's what I had, I didn't feel happy at that moment. I just felt that I had to work harder. Because the house costed a lot of money due to the maintenance. So find out what you really want. And this is a great time. This Corona time is a great time to stand still. And to feel, what do I really want? And if you look for security and safety, I'm sorry, you can only find it within. It's not the outside world. You cannot control another virus. You cannot control the company. You can control how you are acting in life, how you behave, how you want to relate to other people, but also to the circumstances.
Yeah. So now you feel that is that self-conscious awareness that you've then created. Were you also like conscious about that then? Self-conscious about that then?
No, I was more chasing a dream. And when I was young, I always thought to myself, one day I will have a house that's standalone totally. I have a lot of bedrooms, big garden, swimming pool, sauna, a gym, living in the forest.
So you did manifest it.
I did manifest it,
Yeah.
but it costed me about 40 years, I think,
Okay.
to do that.
Yeah, well, it does.
And in the beginning, I was looking at it and I thought, wow, that's great.
So what changed it?
That I had to work for the house.
Okay.
At a certain moment, I had to earn a lot of money to pay the house. And not only the mortgage, but also the maintenance and the garden and all these kind of things. The electricity, the gas. It was a huge house. So
So you needed to have a lot of revenue to pay for it.
And I like my work. I love it.
Yeah.
But only work and then for the money, that's not how I want to live.
No. No.
So now I live in a monastery where the rooms are pretty small, but I love it here. I really love it. Just how to live it.
Yeah, and also because it's like a sort of community-like.
Yeah.
So it's like people, like a shared housing complex or whatever. So you have the connection with people and all that. So there's a lot of elements with that. So you've really now created something that you really feel is more in alignment with your true self. Is that
Much more.
Yeah.
Much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that was, insightful, I think.
I hope so.
So what we want to do is we hope you're still watching and we really enjoy you having you. Have you got any questions for us about this or anything that you feel is on your mind that you want to share or want us to maybe have a discussion around? You can write it in the feed or we can then come back to you about it. We can write later or now, but it's so wonderful to share this with you. We really love it, and we really both at this point now that we say we're going to just only do what we love now. That's all we want to do.
That's so nice.
So, but we take good care, of ourselves, of our bodies. Like this morning, I did the yoga. I'm also a yoga teacher, but also not be a teacher, also practice for myself. We go into nature for long walks, we cycle and we eat healthy and all that. That is really important because that also helps to become conscious of how you take care of this vehicle that you live in. So there's all these aspects of leadership, taking responsibility for who you are and what choices you make in life. Yeah. And the reality that you create in your life is based on the choices that you've made,
Definitely.
know. So and like I said, you said as well, the outer circumstances can be perhaps very challenging for most of us now, but you can still look at the inside of how you relate to that. But most of the things, the job you have, all these kind of things, the relationship you're in, like the house you're living in, that you've made those choices yourself. So you have to take responsibility for that, and you can. So if it's not in alignment with who you are, then you can make a conscious choice and say, well, how can I start changing it? And you don't have to do it radically all at once. If you come to this realization from, oh my gosh, it's not actually what I really want, then take
don't
small
quit your
steps.
job right away.
No, don't. But start evaluating in yourself, like what can I do? Don't start to blame the outer world.
That's so important.
Just stay with yourself. You take responsibility, and then things can change.
One of the most important things that I learned is from the moment I stopped blaming other people, I stopped blaming the government, I stopped blaming other companies, I took ownership.
Yeah.
And with ownership, leadership comes in. And change your thoughts, you will change your world. definitely. It's guaranteed.
Guaranteed, yeah. Okay, well, we're on a roll.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's been wonderful. Thank you for watching, and just wanted to say a heartfelt thank you for being here tonight. I really hope you enjoyed it, and we're going to put this one on YouTube. So if you missed a little bit, you can also Facebook. It will be on here later, but I'm going to also put it on the channel later tonight. So just want to say, have a wonderful week. Next week we're not sure yet because we've been really busy this week. We're not sure yet what exactly we're going to discuss next week, but it's obviously going to be about consciousness, maybe about relationships. Maybe we can talk a little bit about that next week.
That would be nice, I think.
Yeah. So thank you very much for watching. We hope you have a wonderful weekend. I think there's a message coming in.
Leila, thank you. She says thanks to you.
Okay, well, thank you, Leila. Yeah. Lovely that you're here. And we will hopefully see you all next week. And we wish you a wonderful weekend, a restful weekend. Oh, look at that.
Alexandra, thank you, sweethearts. Love you too.
We love you too. And we'll see you all next week. And we know some people are going through a hard time. We've had some news here and there about that. So we're sending lots of love and lots of strength to people. And take good care of yourself and of each other. Bye for now.
Have a lovely weekend. No, just, I noticed that I'm a little bit tired. So, so I'm just going to take just drink a cup of tea and then relax.
Nice. Relaxing a bit.
Take care of yourself.
Yes, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.